I used to think group projects were harmless. You get assigned a topic, you divide the work, everybody does their part, and you all get an easy A. That's what the teacher says, right? Teamwork makes the dream work, but in real life, teamwork makes the nightmare work. This is the story of why you should never trust group projects, and how one assignment nearly ruined my sanity. It all started in my sophomore year of college. Our professor announced we'd be doing a semester-long group project worth 50% of our grade. 50%. Everyone in class groaned, but I thought, okay, I'm responsible. I'll pull my weight. It'll be fine. Then the professor handed out the group lists. That was the moment my fate was sealed. I didn't know any of them except one guy who always sat in the back playing games on his laptop. Another was a girl who seemed chill but never spoke in class. The fourth was a guy who gave off major I'll disappear halfway through energy. I told myself not to judge. Maybe they'd surprise me. They did not. We had our first meeting in the library. I came with notes, a plan, and a Google Doc already set up. They came empty-handed. We sat down and I asked, okay, who wants to do what? Silence. Then laptop guy says, I'm good at visuals. I'll make the slides. Chill girl says, I can research. Disappearing guy says, I'll handle the intro and conclusion. I said, okay, I'll do the main analysis. It all seemed fair. The first week passed. No one updated the document. I sent a polite group chat message. Hey guys, just checking in. No reply. 2 days later, laptop guy sends a meme. Chill girl leaves a heart emoji. Disappearing guy is literally gone. My eye twitched. 2 weeks before the deadline, I realized nothing had been done except my part. I confronted them in the group chat. We need to meet up. We're way behind. They agreed to meet Saturday at noon. I showed up at noon sharp. Nobody there. 12:15, still nobody. 12:30, laptop guy strolls in holding a smoothie like he's on vacation. Chill girl shows up 20 minutes later. Disappearing guy never appears. I tried to keep calm. I said, okay, let's at least start building the slides. Laptop guy opens PowerPoint. His laptop dies immediately. No charger. Chill girl shrugs and says she was busy, so she hasn't done the research yet. I'm sitting there gripping my coffee cup like it's my only lifeline. The deadline was coming fast. I ended up doing most of the research, writing, and formatting myself. Laptop guy occasionally popped in with random clip art. Chill girl sent me one half-finished paragraph at 2 a.m., the night before it was due. Disappearing guy surfaced out of nowhere to ask what time we representing like he was an invited guest. Presentation day arrives. I haven't slept. Been staring at slides so long the text is burned into my brain. We're standing in front of the class. Laptop guy is on his phone. Chill girl looks like she's about to faint. Disappearing guy hasn't even read the intro he's supposed to present. I'm sweating through my shirt. We start. I do my part flawlessly. Then it's disappearing guy's turn. He steps forward and literally reads the slide word for word like a robot, mispronouncing half the words. Chill girl forgets her section entirely and just says, for 30 seconds. Laptop guy tries to click to the next slide and accidentally exits the slideshow. The projector goes black. The professor is staring at us with the coldest eyes I've ever seen. I jump back in, improvise the rest of the presentation, answer the questions, basically carry the whole team on my back like a soldier dragging wounded comrades out of a battlefield. When we finish, there's a polite smattering of applause. We sit down. I feel like I aged 5 years. The professor emails us later saying we got a B. A B for my literal blood, sweat, and tears. I wanted to scream. My group messages me, "Thanks, bro, you saved us," with a laughing emoji. I stared at my phone like I was about to throw it out the window. But here's the real kicker. A week later, I see disappearing guy at a party bragging about how we killed that presentation and how group projects are easy when you know how to delegate. You delegated everything to me. That was the day I swore off group projects forever. I don't care if it's work, school, or building a rocket to Mars. If you tell me we do it together, I am already planning to do it alone. Because group projects aren't about teamwork. They're about survival. They're about learning how to manage chaos, low effort, and ghosting. They're about discovering your inner project manager and your inner therapist at the same time. Looking back now, it's almost funny, like a war story. But at the time, it was pure stress. I drank more coffee that month than in my entire life. I dreamed about Google Docs. I started twitching every time my phone buzzed. Group projects change you. So if you're watching this and you've ever been burned by a group project, drop your worst experience in the comments. I know you've got one. Hit that like button if you've ever carried a whole team on your back. Subscribe so you don't miss my next story time. And share this with a friend who always ghosts on group assignments. Okay? Maybe they'll get the hint. Because at the end of the day, group projects are the ultimate test, not of knowledge, but of patience. They're a rite of passage. And when you finally hand in that project, after weeks of frustration and sleepless nights, you're not just turning in a grade, you're turning in a piece of your soul. Never trust group projects. Trust yourself, plan ahead, and keep receipts. And if all else fails, prepare to go full main character mode and do it all. Because in the world of group projects, it's either survive or sink. And I'm not about to sink.